What is up? What is going on? We are back in black in the building. Shout out to everybody out there at the Court Plantation doing what they need to do to survive. Shout out to everybody just handling business. Tasha, I seen that. You ain't lying. He did have that. He did have that Black History Month right at the White House. Oh man. But anyway, shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to my brother David from No Compromise. Y'all need to go check out his podcast. Shout out to my brother James Youngblood. The Mic Drop. Go check him out. Texas in the building. And Georgia in the building. Shout out to the homegirl Shawnee. Philly is definitely in the building. Shout out to the homegirl Erica. These are people that I'm going to keep there. Shout out to Tajo and all my siblings out there in Las Vegas handling business. Hey, man, we got to get it, man. Man, what do y'all think? Are people mad at Trump? Like, are they mad at Trump? It seems like a lot of people mad at Trump. Just mad at, just upset. I think this is my honest opinion. You know, this is what we're going to talk about. We're just going to have a conversation real quick. You know why I think people are upset with Donald Trump? I think people are upset with Donald Trump because Donald Trump has acknowledged foundational Black Americans. Donald Trump has went out of his way to be like, those privileges were for descendants of slaves, not immigrants. I think that's the real reason why a lot of people are mad at Trump. I believe that people thought that it's just going to be racist, nigga. But I don't think people remember the last time he was in office. He didn't go out of his way to shit on Black people. I don't think he's that type of a racist. I just don't. Now, he ain't gonna smile with no Black folk like that, and he ain't getting on no paper. But as far as going out of his way, he's just not gonna do that. I just don't think that that's his get down. That's not his vibe. And I think a lot of people are upset with him. I think a lot of immigrants are upset with him. Oh, what did y'all think? Because y'all came here for cheap labor for Americans so you can work in their companies and they could have cheap labor, and you thought you were just going to replace foundational Black Americans and ride off into the sunset. But see, this is what a lot of people forgot. There's more white poor people than you thought there was. And poor dominant society people are like, I'd rather just deal with Black folk. I'd rather just deal with that. Oh, it's going to cost a lot to pay them. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But this is out of control. See, this is what people have to understand. Like I said, I've just been listening. Me and David and James Youngblood been having conversations. I read what Tasha put on the YouTube thing. So far, I think he's done a fantastic job as far as coming in guns blazing and doing what he said he was going to do. That's one. Two, I think the country was already economically behind the line because of a lot of the stuff that the last administration did. We don't need to go into that because Donald Trump's already put it out there. Would I say go vote for Trump? No, I'm saying vote your interest. Y'all gonna always hear Warren say vote your interest. You're gonna always hear that. You know, I was reading this one article. I was like, wow, people are that upset that he's removing illegal immigrants from the country. That's against the law. And people are treating it like it's something else. And I think people didn't think Trump was going to do it. I think what they thought was he was going to get in office and be like, all right, well, whatever. But this time he came in with a different type of an agenda, and he's on a different type of time. And I feel like a lot of people just want Black folk to fight their battles, in my personal opinion. Oh, I see a lot of Latinos online. Where you guys at? Where, you know, we're waiting for the Blacks to stand up with us and all that. Nah, kind of not going to do that. And all that protest, that shit is in Vegas and in California. If you look at the rest of the damn country, them motherfuckers ain't doing that shit. They not protesting and acting no goddamn fool. Why? Because y'all gotta go work for the dominant society in the morning. And y'all complaining and protesting, and you're here illegally falls on deaf ears. See, you can't take the template of foundational Black Americans and apply it to your racial group and think you're going to get somewhere. We built the country for free without repayment. Most people that are complaining and protesting, in my personal opinion, this is just my personal opinion, you don't know history. Because if y'all built the country, if immigrants built the country for free without repayment, y'all don't think the dominant society would have 100,000 books talking about immigrants building the country? Douglas Blackman, Slavery by Another Name, he's talking about foundational Black Americans. And all the books that I've read, and I've read, a decent amount, they didn't mention no immigrants. They mentioned all foundational Black Americans. What was that? Sweet Taste of Liberty. Remember, I read that book. It's about Henrietta Woods. I forgot her last name. But she was kidnapped into slavery, got out of slavery, kidnapped again, got out of slavery. And I think her son was going to school to be an attorney, but she ended up getting one of Abraham Lincoln's homeboys. He was an attorney. Because Abraham Lincoln, the majority of the presidents, they were attorneys. So don't quote me because I forgot. I read that book a long time ago. But he basically was talking about, she had to sue. And she sued for like $2,500. But in the antebellum period, $2,500 was like $25,000. You know what I mean? And won. And the judge sided with her and won. And got her little paper because it was unlawful. They weren't talking about no immigrants. They was not talking. When you read Black Lady White Wealth by Dr. Clyde Anderson, he teaches us we are a special people. And in Powernomics, he talks, vote your interest. Don't worry about the people that's Democrat this, Democrat that. Tell them, have you read Black Lady? First of all, ask them this. I challenge everybody because I've done it. Oh, I was doing it a lot when I was in Vegas. I was meeting so many Black people that was like, I can't believe you can't vote and all this other shit. And you know what I would tell them? My taxes tell me different. And they would get so upset. See, but you shouldn't complain. I said, you're going to tell me I can't complain and they taking taxes out of my check to give to immigrants and I can't even get food stamps? Oh, I'm going to complain till they stop taking taxes out of my check. Make it where Black folk ain't got to pay no. See, really what should happen is we should get reparations and we shouldn't have to pay taxes for nothing, just like the Native Americans. Don't tell me the dominant society ain't slick and smart and intelligent. Let me tell you why. And they are the masters of confusion. Why would y'all set up those deals for the Native Americans, but they didn't build the country, but you had us build the country? And for all you people that's talking about, oh, anybody could have picked cotton. We did more than just pick cotton. We're building the bridges, the roads, the railroads. Like I told you, I remember at the corporate plantation, this white man was like, man, I can't believe we did all that. We did that to the Chinamen after, them building the railroads. And this Latino girl looked at me with her eyes bugged. And I just act like I didn't hear. Because I'm not going to argue with a buffoon and an ignorant motherfucker trying to set me up to be emotional about some shit he don't know about. This is the same person that was like, yeah, man, I got some books you can read. I said, I got plenty of books that you can read. Probably don't want to read them, though. And that's exactly how I said it. Because at the time, I was reading Behold the Pale Horse by William Cooper. And this person at the corporate plantation that was in management, because I believe he was insecure when he got around me because I was a Black man that was always reading. And I was reading a lot then, too. And he was like, oh, man, what kind of book is that? That looks like a cartoon book making fun of Behold the Pale Horse by William Cooper. And I'll never forget, I said, I doubt that you could grasp the concepts in this book or your 12-year-old son can. Because he said something about, man, it looks like a kind of book my 12-year-old son would read. I said, I highly doubt you or your 12-year-old son could grasp the concepts in the book. So I just laughed at him. Then he got all red because you know how the dominant society do when they get embarrassed. And then he was like, well, why don't you tell me about it? I was like, maybe you should just go buy the book. No. See, this is what the dominant society likes to do, y'all. And y'all got to pay attention to this. Pay attention. The dominant society tries to make you feel weak and inferior educationally wise, right? They'll try to attack like education, but then when they figure you're pretty intelligent, you're pretty knowledgeable, you're pretty much well read, about different things. So then they want you to explain shit to them. No. And I said, I don't do that. But you should go read the book. Go get the book and read it. Then he got quiet. You know why he got quiet? Because I'm not your court gesture. Well, the book is about such. No. Because if you wanted to know about the book, you would have asked me several books ago. You know what I mean? You would have asked me that. And I noticed it too because there was a white guy that worked there and they told him to stop reading that work before they told me because they wanted to tell me first. He wasn't doing nothing but reading comics. Let me tell you something about the dominant society. See, they know how racism, white supremacy works and how anti-black racism works. So they don't have a need to educate themselves because they have an aid and abetting system, which is what racism, white supremacy, helping them. That's why the majority of the dominant society people that you talk to, they just sling mud like a domesticated primate. They don't know a lot about anything. That's why when you talk about all the inventions we did and everything, they can't fathom it, you know. But check this out though. If we were building the country for free, right? Because they had free labor, why would the dominant society create anything? No, they too busy having black gods around them. Like George Washington Carver, right? Granville T. Woods, those type of people. And then they just take the credit. Kind of like a record label. Kind of like a lot of shit that's going on right now. Most dominant society people know how racism works. That's why they don't read anything. That's why when you start suggesting books to them, they get irritated, they get upset. Because I'm like, yeah, man, you want to know about the book? Read it. Go get it. It's like $13. Get it on Amazon. That's why I get my books. And got real quiet. And this was like the 10th book that I was reading at work. Now all of a sudden you want to take a vested interest in what I'm reading? Stop. You were upset because intellectually I made you feel real small because you're not an avid reader like that, and you probably couldn't tell me anything about what I'm reading because most dominant society people and racial groups, they don't read. They don't want to know their history. They don't care. All they know is white people are in charge. White people are the people that make the decisions, and that's okay to them. Now, the secure white folk, they're going to go out of their way to be like, no, bro. Black people did a lot of shit for this country. It's very few in between, but you will meet dominant society people in your lifetime one day, one way or another, where they're going to be like, nah, black people are responsible for way more than what they talk about. That's why they always like black people commit 50% of the crimes. How when we're 13% of the population? They want to make you think that black folk are all on government assistance. Man, you better start traveling. Go to Wyoming. Go to Idaho. Go to Seattle. Y'all need to travel. Go to Iowa. Go to Nebraska. Go to these places. And go to the county building and you ain't going to see nothing but white folk. They just got you thinking that every white person that you see is doing exceptionally well. That's not true. At all. And then they like to bring up Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and all. Let me tell you something about Bill Gates. Bill Gates was a silver spoon kid. Bill Gates didn't grow up on the county and poor and didn't have nothing. His mom had a little bit of power and a little bit of paper. Go research him. That's why I'm like, why is everybody mad at Trump? Because they just assumed he was going to come in there and nigga. But if you watched his last 4 years that he had, he wasn't going out of his way to be talking shit about black folk. I never seen him do that. And when I mean going out of his way. I'm not meaning he just nigga. See, they like a Joe Biden. Y'all motherfuckers need to get with the Hispanics. And see, they will raise the vibration to other racial groups because they know black folk know we deserve more and we know our worth. That's why when you go to these corporate plantations, it ain't never no foundational black American in charge. It's always these immigrants, Sambos, or Moist. And that's a fact. Look at how Hollywood is. Like I said again, David James Youngblood, Captain America, they should have called it Captain Sambo. It was awful. It was to me, it was off. And the reason why it was off was because he should have had the serum so he could be a super soldier. And why he gotta have these little fake wings flying around? No, why he just can't be a super soldier and have the wings? Or give him a damn vibranium suit. Give the whole, so they gave you some wings but not the suit? Like, I'm like, man, who did this? I can poke holes in that movie all day. I was like, oh, so he doesn't get the superpower, but he get the little wings, the little paper airplane wings, and can't fight and getting his ass fucked up in every fight scene. But when it came to the regular Captain America, Steve Rogers, he's got the serum, the super serum to be a super soldier. You know, he ain't getting his ass kicked. Like, I'd rather Anthony Mackie not be able to fly and be a super soldier. That would have made it way more interesting. But that's what they do. They want to be the moral compass of us for everything. Everything. Oh, no, you guys should do that. Watch the movie. He like, man, I should have took the serum. No, bro, you don't need to do that. No, they should have been telling him, hell yeah, go take that serum. Fuck what they talking about. Or you better go to Wakanda and get that purple Heb. Here is the Heb from Wakanda. You better go do that. No. If you ain't cheating, you ain't winning. What type of shit is that? That's why I'm looking like, damn, why is everybody mad? What y'all thought he was just gonna go in the White House and fuck all these niggas and let's open up the borders more? No, that's what y'all get. And up there talking about we supposed to be having your back. Now, how we supposed to be having somebody's back and we got our own shit to be fighting? So sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Look, man, I'm gonna tell you this again. Nobody got our back, ain't nobody on our side, and ain't nobody gonna speak up for us. We gotta speak up for each other, and we gotta learn how to work together. And if you have information that's pertinent, share the information. Don't withhold it. I stay talking about houses. Y'all know I stay talking about houses with my family. I always, to this day, everybody supposed to have a house. That's bullshit. All this one person having everything, I've never believed in that. Ever, 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 ever. I just think it's whack. It's distasteful. It's a lack of, in my personal opinion, it's a lack of working together for me. No, everybody's supposed to have a house. Whether it's big, small, everybody's supposed to have one. Everybody around me, I want everybody around me, man, get a house. Nah, man, all this one person, I ain't never believed in that. Ever, 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 ever. I just never. Anybody I meet, man, I'm trying to get a crib. Man, I'd be happy as a motherfucker. Hey, man, let me know if you need information. My siblings could tell you, I'll be all the time. Hey, man, you got to do this, this, and this. You want everybody to have a house. I don't care how old you are. Get a house. If you ain't ever purchased no home, don't let these motherfuckers on the sidelines tell you you can't get no crib and tell you this and tell you this. Nah, fuck all that. It just takes a little bit of discipline, a little bit of mental fortitude, and you can get it, and some consistency. That's all it takes. It is not a difficult task. And more FBA people need homes. I don't want to see, man, I'm quick. When I meet a brother, especially in Vegas, man, where you stay? I stay in all these apartments. Hey, man, get you a crib. Youngsters will look at me crazy, man, get you a crib. And I'm like, look, man, that's what you want to do. Just get you a crib. Because these apartments, they hustling. They give you a move-in special, then start raising your rent $100 a year. And at first you're like, this ain't bad. But eventually it gets bad because it becomes very expensive. That's why I want everybody to get a crib, get them their FHA, so that's a fixed rate, and they ain't have to be worried about nobody raising the rates. Now, here's the thing. With the economy being so fucked up, people are trying to sell their houses for astronomical amounts of money. And that's what's making it hard. And a lot of what's making it hard is the open borders and immigrants getting food stamps and all these set-asides and loans and grants to go buy houses, interest-free loans, but we can't even get them. No, they need to go. You got to go. Sorry, I don't care what you're talking about, because I want my people to own homes for a minute. Like, I'm tired of everybody else owning a home. You go in a neighborhood, maybe 2-3 black folk, and everybody else is immigrants. No. We deserve more, and we're going to get more. That's why I be telling people, don't let nobody on the sideline tell you what you can't do. Put blinders on like they do with whores. Don't even listen to motherfuckers like that. Listen to people that is adding value to your life. Don't be listening to people that just sitting up there bumping their gums, unloading all their negative energy on you. I remember when I was purchasing my first home, man, I just kind of just kept to myself because how you gonna do that? Your job doesn't even pay you that much. And, you need to move up first. And people think they got the ultimate answers. but one of my homeboys at the time, he was a trust fund kid from Frisco. He had already owned homes, and he had heard people talking shit and trying to deter me. Man, that man pulled me to the side. He's like, man, Warren G, you could do that shit. Don't be listening to these people. You work 2 and 3 jobs, man. Don't listen to them. They full of shit. And he owned multiple properties, and everything he told me was gold. My Italian OG, Lou, I worked with him too at the Court Plantation, another Court Plantation. He told me the same shit. Don't be listening to these people, Warren G. He said, any motherfucker that tell you you can't buy in a house, they're a fucking jerk off, Warren G. Because he was from Brooklyn. He was Italian from Brooklyn. He didn't like that shit at all. He's like, don't listen to these people. He's like, how the fuck they gonna tell you what the fuck you can do? You know what you can do. What the fuck? You working 2 jobs for shits and giggles? They're a bunch of fucking jerk-offs, Warren G. Don't even listen to him. That's exactly what he told me. So when you start hearing that, you're like, man, he ain't lying. Believe in yourself and don't do the 4-wall effect. As soon as you feel like it's the 4-wall effect, get up and leave. Hit a motherfucker with that. Hey, man, I don't know if y'all read Neely Fuller Jr., but we doing too much arguing in here, and I got to go. I don't do the 4-wall effect. This is a time-wasting mechanism, and it is not meant for us to be in no type of setting where we just going to be arguing and fighting. If we're not going to come together and have constructive behavior, I got to go. And they're going to be like, where the fuck you get that from? Neely Fuller Jr., the United Independent Compensatory Counter-Racist Code of Ethics. These got 2 versions, the one from 1985 and the one from 2016. I got the one from 2016 because that's when I read it. Don't let them fool you with the racial showcasing confusion. Don't let them do none of that. Remember the 4-wall effect. We too busy in competition with each other. And as Dr. Claude Anderson said, it's competition of resources. So you can't be in competition with the people that look like you. I'm talking about foundational Black Americans. You can't be in competition with them. Y'all work together, whether you like each other or not. And if you don't like the next nigga, just get away from them. Like I said, I love 50 Cent. I love Big Meech. I feel like they all have the common goal. And I get it. 50's like, nigga, I put you on. And you owe me a little bit more. I put your son on. I put your son do acting school. And I don't really fuck with that dude over here, and that's kind of disrespectful to me. But those are conversations that need to be handled privately. Because you don't never hear about the dominant society's conversations, do you? I'm done. Guilty, nigga. Ha ha. Peace.